Kristen was Jerry Rice a couple times the other day. It's been pretty good, no? Like the level of the passing right now.
Yeah, it has. I think good passing is kind of contagious, you know. So when you have one good one, you know, you tend to get other people into the act. You know, sometimes I think we get a little overly cute with our passes, you know, and try to do things that are unnecessary. But I would say for the most part, you know, Paige has set a tone, and, you know, she's not afraid to throw that, you know, that Diana pass that Dee used to throw, you know, where you just throw it from foul line to foul line and try to throw it for a layup. And it just has it, you know, just like bad passing is infectious, so is good passing. And right now, you know, we're in a pretty good spot with that. A lot of people are getting into the act.
Is there anybody on the team that maybe wasn't a great passer at the beginning of the year that, or when they got here, that gets better, you know, from osmosis kind of, or like the contagious thing?
I think the people that are handling the ball the most, you know, and that's missing Anna, who's one of our better passers. You know, Paige and Avina, you know, they seem to be in on most of this stuff. And I think Kristen's gotten to be a little bit better at it. As I said, sometimes we get a little too cute, but you know, Nika, when she keeps her, you know, when she tries to just stay simple, is an excellent passer. So we've added, and Aliyah Edwards is a much better passer than I thought. I didn't realize. And I think Olivia is, you know, she's handling the ball a lot for us at the high post, and she's made a lot of great decisions. And we're playing quicker, as you said. I think these last couple of games, we've gotten up and down the floor quicker, and it's opened the floor up a little bit, so there's more opportunities, and maybe that's contributed to it as well.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Doug Bonjour.
Hey, Geno. You mentioned the other day a little bit about how you were pleased with Olivia and Aliyah, you know, playing alongside each other. What specifically is it, you know, that allows them to mesh like they do on the court? You know, is there something that's in particular that you like, you know, that you think allows them to work together successfully?
Well, the fact that they're different helps them a lot. They don't step all over each other. You know, Aliyah is comfortable down low. You know, she's comfortable playing a physical game, and Liv is comfortable playing much more finesse game. So they're always on opposite sides of the lane. You know, one's high, one's low. They both can put the ball on the floor, but they don't run into each other. You know, defensively, they complement each other because they, you know, they can both, you know, be long enough to cause problems. Aliyah maybe more so on the perimeter, you know, can do some things, and Liv's a better shot blocker. So I just think that because they're opposites, they complement each other perfectly.
Thanks.
Roger.
I did have another question to ask you, Geno, but just to go along with what Vicky was talking about, what makes Paige such a great passer? Is it just confidence? Is it great court awareness or something like that? And then after that, I was just wondering if you guys look so fresh right now. Do you feel like even in this uniquely difficult season that you guys are really hitting your mental stride at this point and just feeling great about where you are?
Well, Paige is a good passer because she sees. The old adage, you can teach people to look, but you can't teach them to see. And she sees. She sees exactly what's out there. And she sees it before it's happened. So she's able to, like a good quarterback, she knows where the wide receiver's breaking, and she'll throw the ball to where that guy's supposed to be. It frustrates Paige sometimes because she knows which pass she wants to throw, but one of our players isn't used to playing with her, so doesn't make the right cut. So she sees it, and then she has the ability to throw that pass. So when you have those things, you do pass the ball with a lot of confidence, no question about that. And we are a little bit fresher. It seems like we're right in that mode right now that I think we need to be coming into the end of February. We do what we normally do at this time of the year. Practices have been really sharp, and they've been to the point. We're certainly not mentally tired right now, and that probably has a lot to do with, again, we're a little more comfortable with each other, so it doesn't take as much mental energy to get some things done. We've really streamlined what our playbook is, so that's helped, which we usually do at this time of the year. So, we've taken some of the thought out of it, and just try to keep it simple for them.
Sean?
Hey, Coach. Yeah, I was going to talk to you a little bit about what your feeling is right now with 3 games to go before the Big East tournament, before the NCAA tournament. How do you keep the players motivated, knowing that the next few games might not be the toughest test, and are you fine tuning right now?
This particular year, you don't really plan ahead. So I don't know that we're fine tuning because we don't know for certain that we have 3 games. So, and that's the way it's been throughout the season. So we just try to get ready for the next game. And, this is I think this is true no matter what. There's 3 games left in the regular season, and we have a chance to finish the regular season with an undefeated record in the conference. And we have a lot of young kids who have never done that before. So if I have to go into practice and find a way to motivate them, then chances are we're not as good as I thought we were, and we're not going to win anyway. And because every game is a gift, you try to play every game like it means a lot. But it also comes back to the mental state, mentally and physically being fresh. We played tired against Georgetown. We played some really tired games last month. It was really, really hard. And it seems like, you can say, well, which came first, the motivation or the fact that mentally and physically we're not worn down. So I think that they're anxious to get in the gym and they're anxious to play. And that's where you want them to be at this stage in the season.
Carl?
Geno, you think after 35 years you have gone about everywhere, but this will be the first time in Omaha and then the first time at Hinkle Fieldhouse. Last Saturday was first time at Synthes Center. What did you think of the Synthes Center? How about, going to Omaha, going to Hinkle Fieldhouse?
Yeah, never been to either place. And had never been to Xavier. Never been on their campus, never been on the arena. And I'll tell you what's pretty impressive is these small Catholic schools got some great facilities, man. We could learn a lot. At one time, when Gamble Pavilion opened, it was the, new shiny, toy. And everybody wished they had one of these. And what some other people have done in the meantime has been pretty impressive. What Villanova's done to their place, and that's way older than Gamble. What Xavier has on campus. It's pretty impressive what DePaul has built in downtown Chicago. There's some really, really impressive places. And everybody raves about Hinkle Fieldhouse, and I haven't been in it, so I don't know. But I'm anxious to go and see. And I've not been to Creighton, so I'll know more after I go there. But that's been one of the fun things about playing in this league is, one day you'll be playing in a high school gym, like the old days, like when you're at Seton Hall or you're at Georgetown. And another day you'll be playing in a beautiful, amazing facility. So we're getting a little bit of everything. And these next two, I think, will be great trips.
Do you think part of your team being mentally fresher is that the travel schedule has not been that bad? Like this trip is being, piggybacked and, the long trip to Omaha, at least you're going to Indianapolis and then flying back there. That you're not going, 2 or 3 trips to Texas, a trip to Louisiana. And also you're going to show Hoosiers, before you go to Hinkle.
Yeah, I wonder how many of those kids have watched it. I don't know. I probably should. I've not seen it in a while. Yeah, we don't get back 2 or 3 in the morning, so we're traveling less. We're spending less time in the air. We're getting home at a decent hour and getting to bed at a decent hour. We actually have a few bus trips, which have been good. Games are earlier in the day, which have been great. The Creighton games early, which will be really, really good. So a lot of factors have gone into it, but mostly I think it's just been, they've grown up a little bit, our team. They don't hate practice. They've come to embrace the fact that, that practicing well can really make you a good player. And they're starting to enjoy that part of it. So they're feeling better about themselves. And I think it carries over. And we've made a concerted effort to play faster. We always want to play fast, but some years, you got guys, their version of fast and my version of fast are two different things. I should use the word quickly. What they think is quick and what I think is quick are two different things. And we're starting to come to an agreement on what I think it should look like. And it's really helped. Anytime you got to play half court, you got to walk the ball up the floor, run your half court offense the whole time against a team that's sitting there waiting for it. Man, that's a slog. That no slight to any dentist out there, but man, that's like sitting in a dentist chair. It's awful. It's awful. So we're trying to avoid that as much as we can.
Dan Connolly.
Geno, with you guys in the middle of a 5-game road trip, are you more restricted in what you can do with the players on these road trips? I mean, last year, the players talked about CD setting up games for them like trivia or things like that, or going out to eat while they're on the road. But how much are you limited in what you can do with the players on the road with everything going on?
Oh, yeah, it's nothing like it used to be. They're missing out on a lot. The Georgetown game at Georgetown was the first time I took the team out to dinner all year long, and that would never happen. That would never happen in the past, ever. We're going to try to do something when we're in Indianapolis because it's kind of the end of the season, but we're also very careful. We're very careful where we go. We're private dining room. Everybody's taking all the precautions. Everybody's masked up. All the social distancing part and all that. So we can't do a lot of the things that we really, really enjoy doing that make the travel a lot more bearable. And we may show up on a road trip and say, okay, look, guys, we can't go. Just doesn't work. But so far it's been unlike any other season. And once we get into the conference tournament and the bubble at Mohegan, it's going to be even worse. And then the NCAA tournament is going to be even worse. So they don't have much to look forward to other than the actual games.
Thanks.
We have time for 2 more, so we'll do Alexa and then Charlotte to finish up.
Hey, Geno. We saw a lot of upsets just around the country this past weekend, and it's kind of been the case, it feels like, for most of the season. I'm just curious if, when you look at kind of what's going around the country in general, whether you see it as a factor of not, but no team really separating itself, perhaps, as, like they did maybe last year, if you wanted to use that as an example. Do you see that as maybe a product of COVID, a product of just there not being a dominant team based off the players, more parity? What would you maybe attribute that to?
Probably a little bit of all those things. Home and away games are exactly the same now. You get no benefit from playing at home. You get no penalty for playing on the road. The energy level is 0. So when you play, sometimes a team can get juiced up and, play great because the crowd is really helping them, whether it's a home crowd or whether it's a road crowd. So you have none of that. So you have to trust the players to bring their own, which that doesn't go over great sometimes. So you have all these factors, you have less dominant teams, correct? You have more good teams moving up, So that combination of a lot of what used to be great teams have come back down a little bit, and some of the other teams have moved up a little bit. So it's narrowed the gap there. So many teams are playing with young kids, this is not exactly, a senior dominated season, so you've got a lot of young players playing for a lot of teams, and, they're going to be up and down. So it should make the NCAA tournament pretty exciting if it stays like this.
And to Charlotte.
Just kind of wanted to go back to when you were talking about getting your playbook streamlined around this time, like normal. Do you feel like you've been able to, did it take a little bit longer this season just because of the up and down, and to be able to include as much because of the team's age, just what that's looked like compared to years past?
In years, depending on what kind of team you have, don't get me wrong. In years past, you might start out with some things, in November, and you really like them and you stay with them the whole year. And that's all you need. Other years, you may start out with, this much stuff in November, and as time goes on, you start to add more things because you feel like, wow, we got a team that's really, really receptive, and everything we throw at them, they get it. This year, we kept adding stuff because none of the stuff that we had worked. So it was for a different reason. Hey, let's try this. Maybe this will work. Hey, let's try this. Maybe this will work. And it was every week we were trying, something different to find anything that would work. And, and finally we hit on, one or two things, and we've settled on those things. And that's at both ends too, offensively and defensively. Some years, you can do a lot defensively. Some years you can't. So this particular team, we don't do a lot, but hopefully what we do, we try to do it well, and have gotten better at it. We have gotten better.